Hello, welcome to Veganica channel. Today we have a guest. Please introduce yourself.
My name, I go by Kaljera, but I'm a former guest, and I've been on the show before talking about religion and veganism. So I'm a former guest here to talk about basically animal rights and animal welfare. And I'm really happy to be here because Veganica is a really lovely person.
The topic last time was that vegans violate God-given rights to eat meat. Yes, this was our last conversation. And today your proposal is welfarism and abolitionist approach. And you suggest that vegans should fight for animals' welfare. This is your claim, yes?
Yeah, well, it's not sort of a claim, but it's just like a prediction of the future. And I feel like it's a duty for vegans to support animal welfare because I don't see any logical reasons why vegans would not want to care about the animal suffering and claim they care about animal suffering, but they don't want to have an approach to say like, if people are going to eat meat, let's have the best animal welfare on Earth, all over the planet if possible. So I think it's a duty for vegans to support animal welfare. If not, then they're basically I can't even consider them vegan.
The problem is that veganism, by definition, is a stance against all kind of exploitation. Welfarist approach means that you accept the exploitation, you accept the killing of animals, and you just want to improve their conditions of living.
I wouldn't necessarily say I would be happy with exploiting because stuff like dog racing, zoos, unless the zoo is for like endangered species, I support endangered species not being extinct. So if the zoo, like I don't even like to use the word zoo, but if it's for that, but stuff like SeaWorld, I'm against that. But I don't really care. I don't really go to that. I'm against like dog racing, dog fighting. I will never partake in that. And I'm also too against like stuff like horse riding. I don't partake in that unless you could prove that the horse that will let you ride it, and different stuff like that, like circus animals. I'm against that unless you could prove that the animal actually likes it. That's my stance on that. So yeah.
So you are against exploitation of certain species, but how about pigs and chickens and ducks and geese or cows? Because as far as I remember, you do eat meat. Yes, do you still eat meat?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to like animals, like say like if it's for livestock, I'm okay with it because I eat stuff like lamb, I eat stuff like calves, but I don't have what do you call it, dissonant cognitive um ness, I guess you would say. So I mean, I'll eat a puppy or I'll eat a kitten. That's just how I feel. Or like, but the thing is, I want to make sure there's a difference between like animals for food and animals for companions because that's what I see animals as. But exploiting animals for no reason other than entertainment to me is just weird, and I don't understand that.
But this is a terrible thing to divide animals into certain kinds of species because they are not different. What's the difference between a piglet and a puppy? They are same feeling. They are sensitive. They want to live. They want to have fun. They want to be safe. So it is like evil itself. What you are doing, like dividing species into two categories. This is pure evil. So how can you accept this in 21st century?
Well, I mean, I understand it's the 21st century. I was born in the 80s, but if you're saying that me killing an animal to eat it is basically, I don't understand it because like most birds, especially like a chicken, they kill animals to eat it, and you're gonna call like a bird evil. But just because somebody think that me killing an animal for food is wrong is to me is like bizarre because I don't see anything wrong with that when literally humans evolved or we were granted or created by God, whichever one you want to go with, because I know there might be some atheists that might listen to this. But I mean, we are omnivores. There might be a predator that eat us, but at the end of the day, I see no difference between like a dog and a cat. The only difference is that's right, a dog and a cow. The only difference is one can be a companion and one can't. Both are food, but one are just deemed more as a companion than food. That's how I see it.
You know, you say we are omnivores. Actually, I don't care about this because there is a lot of discussion whether we are herbivores or stargivores or carnivores. I don't care because we have brains. We have brains. We are slightly conscious. I don't think we are really conscious beings as much as some people claim that we have been created in picture of God. It seems bullshit because look how unaware, how unconscious we are. I think dividing animals into several categories of species, which is total nonsense, is the proof we are unconscious. We didn't evolve much above other animals. However, we are a little bit conscious. So we are not just carnivores. We are souls. We are free souls. We are spirits. We can decide about our living. So if we don't need to do all those atrocities, why should we do? You know, men have instinct to have sex and he will react to whatever kind of attractive woman, even if she's underage, if she's 12. But does it mean that he can do it automatically because this is his instinct? No, because we are something more. We have civilization, yes. So we cannot use those arguments. We cannot use chicken as an excuse for us because chicken doesn't understand that what he feel likes eating when he sees. Well, yes, that's true. If you give him maybe a piece of meat, he would eat it, but he doesn't understand where it comes from. He doesn't understand that it contains suffering. That same dog. Dogs are good by their nature,
Okay, can
affectionate
I?
and so on, but they don't understand what the meat is. But we do understand.
Okay, well, I understand that. That's why I'm here talking to you because I fully understand that we have brains and we have the most powerful brains in, well, arguably on Earth, on land, maybe not in the ocean, because the equivalent of the smartest animal will probably be a dolphin. So
Mhm.
the thing is, I'm saying that we're talking, but I'm trying to tell you that people don't see a moral issue because veganism is a belief that eating meat is evil. Some people don't believe that. I don't believe eating meat is evil because the thing is, like, you want to compare, like, saying, like, some a grown dude, like, taking advantage of a child for sexual reasons. That's not the case when people eat meat because I'm pretty sure most people who was taken advantage of sexually by an older person ate meat. So that's like a bad equivalence to me just eating meat. No, I fully understand that we should care about animals, and I actually do care about animals, but they have vegans need to understand that you're not going to change the world to go vegan because of our biological makeup, and also too the fact that meat is the most nutritious food on the planet. That being said, also too is like when people say that I'm evil for eating meat or killing an animal to eat meat, that is their belief. So telling me that, I don't believe that. Telling me that I'm evil for eating something that we've been doing not because of like culture but because of who we are as a human beings, it's kind of false. Because if you talk about like a monkey, monkeys eat meat. They just don't have the capability of figuring out how to hunt or like capture animals, but monkey eats meat and they love meat.
If they do, probably they will soon have serious health issues and will die fast. So, but I don't want to talk about biology because even if we were true carnivores, it doesn't give us the right to kill others.
I said we are omnivores, not carnivores.
Yes, I said if we were, even if we were, it doesn't give us a right to kill others and steal somebody's life because we want to survive. It might be understandable, but doesn't mean that it's moral to steal somebody's life to survive. So even being carnivore doesn't cannot be an excuse to anyone. You said you don't believe it's evil. So how do you define the evil? Because you know, in this way, we can everything. We can no, this is okay. So, for example, as you know, Russia invaded Ukraine because they believe this is right. This is holy war for them because they fight in the name of God. And they use exactly the same argument as carnivores do. So actually, I will even soon publish a video addressing Jay Dyer and Tristan their arguments, because they use God to cover the atrocity towards animals, but it's the same, exactly the same narrative as Orthodox Church is using to explain the invading, the genocide on Ukraine. They also say no, for them this is not evil. This is holy war. This is God's will. They do it in the name of God. They are killing children, pregnant women, elder people, and they have no problem because for them this is not evil. So I think, especially nowadays, uh, nobody should use this argument that you believe this is good, because this is exactly what Russians, what Putin is doing. No, this is not wrong. This is holy war. God tells them to do this. And but so we must get back to basic. What is definition of evil? Evil is something you don't want to be done to you. So, do you want to be slaughtered? Do you want to be hang upside down and have your throats slit? Is it what you want for yourself?
Okay, so you got in a hypothetical. So if there was like a being that is more on top of the food chain, more than human beings, like the closest thing I could think of is like say like a reptilian, which is like a reptile from Earth, and they came down here and they started eating us. Then I mean, there's nothing I could really do. All I could do is fight against it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm just food to them, so I would have to just accept it.
I didn't talk about the reptilians at all. I was talking about definition of evil. What is evil? Evil is something you don't want to be done to you. So
Okay,
just
well, so the
think, is it
definition,
evil to kill? So if you are not sure whether it's good or not good to kill someone, think about it. If you want this fate for yourself, would you like to be slaughtered, to be taken to a slaughterhouse? Would you like to be to die in a gas chamber, or to be hung upside down? Would you like this? Is this your wish?
if it's a
Would you call
species,
it an evil?
if it's a species above me and then they're using me for the purpose of food, I wouldn't call it evil. If they're using me for food, then I wouldn't call it evil. But if they're just like torturing me for no reason, then I would call it evil. So yeah, I don't
So evil
consider.
is something which is done only to you, but never what you are doing to somebody else. Yes. So if somebody does it to you, it's evil. If you do it to another one, it's not evil. Yes. So
Okay, so like if I was just like say like I was beating a puppy to death for no reason, then yeah, that's evil. But also too, I would consider evil if someone went and light a forest on fire for no reason. I would consider that evil.
so reason makes it less evil. I
Well, because
think.
there's a necessity, and then there's like evil actions. Like if I kill an animal to eat it, it would be like say I was on a desert island. It's like I'm not gonna starve, but the only thing is here is like really animals. So I won't consider evil to eat an animal. So that's what comes to the whole logic of veganism being just basically a one-trick pony argument and ideology. Because it's okay for someone who's starving to eat an animal, but it's wrong for me to eat an animal. But this person is okay. Like, what? Why shouldn't I just starve or not eat an animal? That's when it comes to the hypocrisy of veganism.
It's not okay to eat animal if you are starving. It's just understandable, but of course it's immoral, because morally you are two equal beings, so you're still stealing somebody's life to survive. It's only understandable, but not moral. Of course it's not moral, because you are still a thief and a murderer if you eat and kill animal if you're starving. So it's never moral. It's always evil, but just only understandable. But you use the argument of necessity, but how can you call eating meat a necessity? Why is it? Why do you call it a necessity if millions of vegans are thriving and survive and are super healthy, usually more healthy than average population? So how can you call it a necessity?
Because the vegans have the argument and say like, oh, instead of eat a cow, cut out the middleman and like eat what cows eat or like eat blah 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 and this and that. But I have never seen a vegan yet to go to like a farm and actually eat the feed that cows eat or eat the feed that livestock eat because vegans won't do it.
Are you aware that soon many people in the world will be starving, and when many will die because of the war? Because Ukraine and Russia are big exporters of grains, and many people will die because of a shortage of grains. Because rich countries must give those grains to animals. Yes, those grains like wheat and barley can feed people. But no, people want flesh. So many people, millions of people in poor countries will die because of this greed, because people desire fresh. So actually, omnivores are killing not only animals but also humans. Many people will die. Yes, because exactly this argument what you said. Exactly, grace will be given to animals, not to people, and there will be a shortage of grains this year in next months. So what would you say about this? So you don't kill only animals, you also kill people if you eat flesh. Is it
Well,
okay, or is it any worse to kill people, or the same? Because you have a desire to eat flesh, you must eat flesh. Does it make it worse or the same? Not evil, not evil, because it's not done towards you.
okay, well, I don't. Even though we are both God's children, I don't have omnipotent power to stop wars. So when a country go to another country with war, there's literally nothing I could do as a single individual, and I wish they wouldn't go to war. But I have nothing to do with this, and also too, I have like no ties with Europe or even on the continent of Europe. So I'm sad that war is happening, and I wish I could just literally just intervene and just completely stop it, but I can't. So I just make sure that all the people get be safe, make the right decisions to save their lives, and like just figure out the best opportunity to because I believe every human should have the right to live.
It seems that you are trying to remove responsibility from your own person. So you said you have no power to stop the war, but you have the power to stop the hunger. Yes, you can decide whether people in poor countries in Africa or Middle East, Middle East will die or not. This is your responsibility. Yes, you cannot stop the invasion on Ukraine, but you yes, you are responsible for those who will die in Africa. I don't mean just you, but people, all people like you. This is the problem with omnivores, that they are trying to avoid their personal responsibilities. Like you are sitting in America, so you say, what do I have to do with this? But nobody is responsible. Yes, like always someone else is responsible. Always someone else is responsible.
I'm just only one individual, but I live in America, but I do take care of homeless people. I do like anytime a person is like homeless or struggling on the street and I see them, I always ask them if they need something. And large, I don't like to give them money because a lot of the homeless people I encounter, they sometimes use it for drug and alcohols. But if someone say like they need money for that, I will just they need money for some like make up some fake thing. I'm just like, wow, that's fake. Then I'll just be like, look, I'm going to this store right now. Do you need food? And they usually request meat. They don't request like a bag of beans or rice. And then, so I do have accountability because I do take care of homeless people in America. But the thing is, I wish I was rich like the Rothschild children, or rich and had like presidential money of like a how should I say like a ruler of um Russia. I don't have that kind of money. So basically, I would literally give the t-shirt off my body to give someone who's in need. That's why I probably don't have any money. But at the end of the day, it would be unfair to say that it is my responsibility to be like the daycare of the planet when I could barely even keep homeless people from going homeless, and I don't even have enough money to feed all homeless people in my country. And then like, how am I responsible for European people starving to death when I never initiated a war? I need you to understand this.
I wish you were, and I wish you to be more honest towards you, because uh, you're trying to explain that you are not responsible. This is not your fault. You are too small to have any power. But in total, all those people who eat flesh, most of them are like you, have no individual huge power. But in total, they consume a lot of meat, which is the reason why millions of people will die because of hunger, because grains and food for people will be given to animals. And there is also, of course, another question: why anybody should care about human more than animals? This is, in my opinion, this is idiotic, because we are no better than them. We are no different than them. We are just slightly conscious, not much more than them. We are not more sensitive than them. Sometimes some even vegans claim that humans are more sensitive. This is bullshit, because the less somebody the less knowledge somebody have, the more anxious he is. We are, the fear is the result of is the reaction to unknown. So animals know less, they understand less of their environment, so they are more afraid, more anxious, more sensitive. So I think we should care about animals more than about humans. Humans are more capable to deal with their problems themselves. They are less anxious, less sensitive, because intellect covers the anxiety and emotions. It's like alternative to emotions. So animals are more emotional. So I think we should care about animals the same as we do care about children. Yeah, we care about children more because they are less aware. They understand less, so they are afraid like of everything, even of darkness, of strangers, because they understand less. That's why we must care more about children, and that's why the same reason we must care more about animals. If somebody cares about human children but doesn't have the same attitude towards animals, this is like he lives in a lie. It's evil by definition what he's doing, dividing into various species. This is like pure speciesism. It's hard for me to pronounce, but this is pure evil, nothing more. And but I
So,
see that you are using argument that you are not responsible, that you are too small, but you are. Yes, you are responsible for the chicken you are eating. So you said that raping a child is worse than eating a chicken. I think the opposite. Of course, eating a chicken is worse than raping a child, because
never
by
said that.
raping a child you don't kill him yet. He still have they still have a chance to grow up, to go to therapy, and to survive. So obviously eating a chicken is worse. And
Can I,
using the argument that you are too small, that you are not responsible because you don't have too much money, it's
okay, so yeah, I once never talked about raping a children or a child.
No,
Um,
before I
you and I
was
agreed on
asking about can a man go and rape a child because this is his nature? Because you said that we are omnivores by our nature, so that's why we have the right to eat animals. So I asked you, does the man who feels the sex drive go wherever he wants and just use whomever he wants? So there was
okay.
already this argument.
I never once talked about raping children, and I also don't believe it is human nature to rape children as a man. A man. So that's a little bit offensive, but I'll let it slide. But yeah, I've never talked about that. The difference between I said people who get taken advantage by a grown adults, and children who get taken advantage of by grown adults, who should be um like either in a grave or like in prison underneath in a grave underneath the prison.
So I think it's a nonsense to care about human children and not to care about animals, like non-human children.
I see where you're going with this. Let me ask you a question, right? If
Yeah.
you was if you was like if you had like only one opportunity, right, and there was a burning building, and there was 50 piglets in the building, or one human baby. You don't know the baby, but just one human baby. It doesn't matter the sex. It doesn't matter the sex of the baby. Which would you choose to save, the one baby or the 50 piglets?
Of
And there's
course,
only
50
one.
piglets. Of course, 50 piglets. Of course, 50 piglets.
And
And
I
I
ask you
know
why.
this argument, and I think some people are trying to use it against vegans because they think that everybody automatically, because you know how selfish is the answer. I would choose the human baby, because human baby is equivalent of yourself. If you choose human baby, that means you choose yourself. That you are not moral at all. Zero. You are moral zero. You are shit. because that means you care about yourself. Because we care about other humans because we can associate ourselves with them. So that means we don't care about nobody. We care about nobody. We care about ourselves. They are similar to us. That means we care about ourselves. Caring about somebody else, this is caring about someone. You must go out from your own circle. You must save somebody different than you. This is the point where morality starts. Everything before is shit. Is being yourself, being your own. Is selfishness, pure selfishness.
Well, I have to give you credit though, because most vegans are actually speciesists, and they'll actually choose to save the baby instead of 50 piglets.
Yes,
So I have to give
I
you
heard
credit
this
because
also from vegans that they will say,
you
yes,
are very
of
vegan.
course, humans are more important. Yes, yes, they compare the worth of animals' life to our bodies, to the taste. Yes, I heard this narrative many times that, yes, of course, humans are more important, but you don't need to eat flesh, so they compare with taste. No, fucking no. Why humans are more important? Because they are similar to us, so that means ourselves are more important than others. So this way I can say I am more important than you, because me, I am myself, you are yourself, so I don't care. So leaving those piglets in the building is like leaving you, because you are not me, so I don't care. Leaving piglets are different than me, so I don't care. It's the same. If you don't care about piglets, it means you care about nobody, only yourself. So you care about homeless people because you care about yourself. You want to feel better. So you find excuse, okay, for animals, I am not responsible. I don't have power. I don't have enough money, and so you only care about yourself, and you pretend caring about somebody else. Care about somebody else starts from the point when you care about somebody different, not from your own nation. Look about patriotism. People care only about their own people. For example, Polish people, my nation, they are now proud because we accepted millions of Ukrainian refugees. Yes, there are lots of them everywhere now, but so we say, oh, Polish nation is so moral. We now the Polish people are talking about hospitality, but this is bullshit, because when there was another crisis, when the people from Syria wanted to enter also Poland and Europe, but they were different. They are different religion, different culture, different look, so they didn't accept. So Polish people don't care about others. If we accepted just people similar to us, like our neighbors, it means nothing. It means we did it for ourselves. This is a selfishness. So it is the same like care about human in general. Yeah, humans, we are similar. That means as long as you care just about humans, that means you didn't go out from your own circle. You just care about yourself. You cannot say you care about anybody.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that's true, because the reason that I help homeless people out is not because I want to make myself feel better, is because I know something could unfortunately happen to me, which happens to a lot of human beings who are doing really well, that they could go homeless. So in a way, I'm just trying to make a safety net for myself, but I treat people how I want to be treated. So if I'm homeless, I would want to be treated the same way I treat homeless people. So that's false. And I actually live and sleep with homeless people like a lot of times, and I just chill with them and hang out and just treat them like normal people. Like I'd rather be around like people who have like who are homeless than be around rich people like the Ross children any day of the week. This is why I don't have anything of material objects. But the thing is, when you want to say that I don't care and I'm selfish, like that's my whole argument. That's just why we're having a debate, because I'm saying that I would want to have a world where people actually care about the way that we treat everything from where we get our food, from plants to grains to seeds to meat.
The whole debate was more than 1 hour long, therefore I decided to divide it into two parts. Soon I will publish the second part of this debate. Thank you for your attention for today and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.